Welcome back. You're pretty late. And then, Tosaka is standing in the doorway.
Tosaka.
Tosaka, why are you... Let's talk inside. Come in. You seem tired. She takes my arm without asking me and starts to walk. And takes me to her room. Uh-oh. Here's some tea. It must have been cold outside. She says so rather bluntly, but she's thoughtful. Yeah, thanks. Honestly, I appreciate the hot tea. It's about an hour to the neighboring town. Since I walked slowly, my body is freezing cold. So, did you go to Kirei's place? She asks me directly. I see, so Tosaka knew all along. She's probably stalking you. But she didn't even stop me, just waited for me to come home, and prepared me some tea. I've made up my mind, and I appreciate Tosaka's thoughtfulness. That must be why. Yeah, I did have something I wanted to ask him. I reply honestly, not hiding anything. I see. I won't ask what you went to do. That's fine with you, right? Yeah, it wasn't anything too useful either. He was just being creepy as usual. I just confirmed the situation. I see, but I'm surprised that Saber isn't a complete servant yet. It's like a bad joke that the strongest servant is the least complete. Yeah, Saber shouldn't have become a servant. I nod. That's a surprise. Maybe you and Archer could have gotten along. He said the same thing you did. That's pretty suspicious. Huh? Archer, you mean... Yeah, Archer said he regrets it, so he doesn't want Saber to experience the same thing. Why would he worry about Saber? Didn't he hate her? That's true, but I think he might have been a knight with some connection to Saber. He was obviously going easy when he first fought Saber, right? I suspected it after all. Or I suspected after that, excuse me. Really? But it didn't seem like Saber recognized him. Is that so? But Saber was the king, right? So she can't have known all her people. And there's also the possibility she's forgotten him. I don't think he would have fit in with all the other knights, considering he's tan, olive skinned and everything. He doesn't really look European to me. I don't think he'd be one of King Arthur's knights at least. Hey now, we'll never get anywhere if you start saying things like that. If she sees him and doesn't recognize him, I think that means she doesn't know him. That might be true. According to the legend, there were many knights that got chased out of Camelot. He might have been one of them. You're not European! Get out of here! If he was hiding his identity because of Saber, that would make sense. Tosaka's actively talking to me. Is she trying to care for me? I don't think it's having much effect, but she's a nice girl. She's usually merciless, but she tries to help people when they're weakened. And so, we drink tea together for a while. Motherfucking tea. She must have run out of patience as she looks at me seriously. So, what do you want to do, Shiro? I'll go on a date tomorrow. Well, that was definitely out of nowhere, Shiro. I can't think of anything else, and I already decided so on my way home. And then, where did that solemn atmosphere go? After making a really rude face, Tosaka... Burst into laughter. Just like I would have probably done. Hold on, I wasn't ready for that. That's great, so amazingly selfish, Shiro. Damn, now that I think about it calmly, I should have known this was going to happen. I'm such an idiot. Yeah, why did you tell her that? Something that you pretty much never are, so that's kind of weird. Shut up, what's wrong with being selfish? I know this isn't the right time, but I won't let you interfere. No. Shiro, you're too funny. Tosuke hits my back, holding her stomach. Could this be the worst treatment I've taken so far? Probably. Next thing you know, she's gonna start shocking you. Oh, I'm laughing my heart out. She tries to catch her breath. That's good for you. It's not funny at all for me. Do your best on the date. I like you guys. Even though I wanted to kill you at one point. Tosuke says so. Her attitude completely changed. Yeah, I will. That was a real surprise attack. If she says that kind of thing with that kind of expression, all I can do is nod. I return to my room. Saber's still asleep, and the mansion is quiet, like nothing has happened. It was raining today, but what will the weather be like tomorrow? Looking up at the moving clouds, I step out of character and wish for it to be sunny tomorrow. Day 14. Kawaii date with Saber. So, before I realize it, it's morning already. And you should really stop your alarm, by the way. I'm useless. I couldn't get any sleep at all. I stopped the alarm clock with a sigh. Today is my date with Saber, no matter what she says. I'm going to go take her to places she hasn't been and play around. And the most important thing for her is for her to enjoy herself. I was trying to use the knowledge I don't have to come up with a plan for the day, but the alarm clock went off before I noticed the time. I set the alarm clock just in case. I couldn't come up with any good plans last night, so I borrowed it from Tosuke, thinking it might take a long time to come up with a plan. It was useless in the end. Come to think of it, I've never gone on a date before. I sigh again. That's the problem. Even more shocking than the fact that I couldn't get any sleep is the fact that I couldn't come up with any plan that might make a girl happy, even though I thought about it all night. Just go to a fucking movie or something, Jesus Christ. Is it really that hard, Shiro? Fine, I'll leave this to luck. I'll take her everywhere and make her realize what it means to have fun, and then all my money's gonna be gone by the time by the time we're done. If we go to cute-looking stores, she's bound to have fun. Well, I think the plan has some weak points, but I've made up my mind, so that's what I'm going to do. It's not like I have any other ideas, so I'm going to entertain her until today until she gives up. Then Ilias feels not woken up yet. Nope, she's still asleep. It looks like it'll take her a bit longer to wake up, but I guess that's good luck. Today. Yep, she would be being a creeper as usual. If she were awake, she would be following Shiro around and bothering him. And calling him Oni-chan. Yes, we cannot have her continue to accompany Shiro as she has been. I will not allow it. I will dispatch her with my Excalibur. It ended like that last night, but we are going to start seriously searching for the remaining master today. Shiro cannot be concerned with Iliasville.
ああ、そっちの邪魔じゃないんだけど。
Oh, that's not what I meant, but oh well.
私が言っても仕方ないし、これ
It
は
won't do any good if I
シ
tell
ロ
you
とセイバー
this,
の問題
and
だ
this
し。
is yours and Shiro's problem. Tosuke tries to hide her laughter.
私とシロの
Huh?
問題
A
で
problem
す
for
か。
me and Shiro. Saber's expression questions me. We're done eating breakfast, so this is a good time. Saber is ready to go and search for masters, but I have willpower as well. I just need to come out with it like a man.
そのことだけどな
About that, Saber.
今日は隣町
We'll be going into the neighboring town today, so if you need to get ready, do so now.
マスター探しです。
We're going on a date whether you like it or
それだか
not.
ら隣町ではなく、郊外の方が確実だと思いますが。
Looking for the master? In that case, I would have thought the suburbs would have been a better choice than the neighboring town.
そんなんじゃない。二人で遊びに行くんだから郊外になんて行って
No,
も
we're going to hang out, so there's no point in going to the suburbs. That wasn't really the best way of putting it, Shiro. Huh? Saber freezes. I'll really have to get back at the person who's behind her trying not to laugh.
シロ、それはどういう意味でしょうか。
Shiro, what do you mean by that? We're not going to hang out with Rin, but,
俺が行くんだからついてくるのはセイバー以外いないだろう。登坂はうちでイリアの面倒を見て
I'm
もらう
going, so who else but you will come with me? Tosuke has nothing to do with this since she'll be staying here to take care of Ilya.
何をバカな。私とシロが隣町を探索したところで成果は薄い。そのようなことをしても意味がない。
How ridiculous. We would not accomplish much even if we did search the neighboring town. Doing such a thing is meaningless. What are you trying to do? Saber complains directly. This is what I expected, but the future looks troublesome as she still thinks we're going to town to look for the master even if I told her clearly. Even after I told her clearly. No, you didn't even tell her anything clearly. You just said, oh, we're gonna go hang out. Jeez, you don't understand when I put it this clearly? In other words, I'm saying let's go on a date. How about it? I ask, ignoring Tosuke's stare. I don't know how much she understands.
そのような言い方ではわかりません。具体
I
的
do
な
not
内容を提
understand
示
what
し
you
て
were
くれませ
saying.
んか。
Can you
シ
give
ロ
me a concrete description? She asks, even less happily. That flips a switch within me. It seems like caring for her has the opposite effect when it comes to things like this. It seems it would be to both our benefits to state it clearly.
シロ、
Well, when a man and woman love each other very much.
デートをしようとはどういうことなのか説明してください。
Shiro, I will obey if you want to go into town, but please explain to me what you mean by going to this date.
いくらこの時代に慣れていると言っても、私にも知らない単語はあります。あまり専門的な略語は使わないでほし
Even
い。
though I'm familiar with this age, those words I still do not understand. Please do not use technical vocabulary.
別に専門的な単語
It's
じゃな
not
い
a
ぞ。
technical vocabulary.
知らないなら教えてやるけど、デートってのは女の子と遊びに行くって
I'll tell you since you don't know. Going on a date means going out to play with a girl.
は
Huh? Well, not really, but sure. Saber freezes.
女の子とは私のこ
The
とを言っ
girl.
ているの
You
でしょ
mean
うか。
me? She murmurs, still astonished. When I nod, Saber frowns even more unhappily.
言葉の意味はわかりましたが、意図が全くわかりません。
I understand the meaning of the word, but I do not understand your intent. What is the reasoning behind such a thing? Her reaction is unexpected. The intention of a date is obvious, but I'm a bit hesitant to tell Saber straight on.
ああ、もう。
Thank you,
そんならし
Tosuke.
くない
Please
単
explain
語
to
を使
her.
うから勘違いさせるのよ。デートなんて言わずに、もっとわかりやすい言葉で
Jeez,
説
she's
明すればいい
misunderstanding
のに。
because of the words you're using. Don't use the word date. Explain it to her in simpler terms. Tosuke interrupts as if unable to ignore us.
いいセイバー。デート
Shiro,
って
you
のは
fail
ね
so much you couldn't even get the term. You couldn't even explain date correctly. Look, Saber, a date is basically a rendezvous.
シロは遊びに行くって言うけど、つまるとこ
Saber
ろ
says, or no, that's it. Shiro says he's going to play, but it's a chance for a man to appeal to a woman he likes. Saber's face. I cough. Tosuke is right, but I think a date and a rendezvous are vastly different. Make it sound like we're going to one of them love hotels. But I shouldn't interrupt. It seems Saber finally understands what a date is. That's right, Saber. We're not going to fight today, but we're going into town instead. After all, we won't be able to fight during the daytime since there are a lot of people around. So we should be able to do whatever we want now. That is true, but this is too meaningless. There is no benefit for you in doing this. That's not true. Even if it were, I wouldn't mind. I've already decided to spend today with you, so don't worry about me. Anyways, we're going into town today. I won't change my mind no matter what. I stare straight on at Saber. After thinking with a serious face for a while. Then will you go into town by yourself even if I do not go? Yeah, I'm definitely going, or the stuff I thought about all night will go to waste. I'll take myself on a date. Then I will have to go with you. As a servant, I cannot leave my master alone. See? We had to force her to do it. She doesn't want to do it. With a deep sigh, Saber answers in her usual manner. I get really angry about her following me because she's my servant. But I managed to succeed in getting Saber out. So I just have to take Saber to places without thinking too much about it. You never really think too much about anything, do you, Shiro? See ya. Bring me back something. Yeah, I probably won't, considering I'll be broke, so fuck off. I gestured to Tosako to go to hell, and she makes fun of me right to the end, and we go outside. So, what are we going to do exactly, Shiro? We'll go to the neighboring town. There's a bus from the intersection, so let's take that. The road is awfully quiet. It's past 9 on a weekday. The town is starting to come alive, but it must be a bit too early for people to start going anywhere. There's no one out on the road, and it's like we have the place to ourselves. Come to think of it, I'm starting to feel no resistance to skipping school. I've been at home all the time recently. Of course, you are a master, so it would be strange for you to be out walking. She replies sharply. She's walking behind me as usual, but it feels different today. To put it nicely, I feel pressure from behind me. Anyway, Saber is going to be harder to handle today. We get on the bus. It would have been full of people an hour ago, but there aren't many people using it at this time. The only people on the bus are an old lady and a kid, so it's like we have the place to ourselves. Let's sit at the back, Saber. I call out to Saber, about to sit right at the front, and sit at the back end of the bus. Oh man, those transparent clouds. Ellipsis. Saber watches the passing scenery silently. Looking at her, I realize how crazy I'm being right now. The bus to the neighboring town is ordinary for me. But in this ordinary thing, there is something extraordinary. Well, in short, to be honest, my mind starts to twist like a Rubik's Cube, realizing we're about to go on a date. Oh, crap, I'm getting really nervous. I take a deep breath, trying not to let Saber notice. And I know I shouldn't, but I sneak one more glance at Saber. My heart jumps. The Saber sitting next to me is a Saber I don't know. No, Saber herself is the same. All that's changed is the place. But still, just that makes me realize that she is different. Something I didn't notice back in my place. This ordinary scene seems like a different world just because it has Saber in it. Her hair is like golden silk, and her green eyes are so beautiful that their mere presence is overwhelming. There wasn't much to compare her against up until now, so I forgot about it. I remember that time I first met Saber. I was probably avoiding her because I was embarrassed about being fascinated by her. No matter what Saber says, she is a girl before she is a swordsman for me. I didn't know how to approach her, and I didn't realize my feelings for her. It's stupid even for me. I was finally able to believe in Saber with everything I have, and then I decided to go on a date with her. Just those two are in the wrong order, and I finally realized when our day is about to begin, just how big a deal it is to go on a date with a girl you like. But that's fine. I can only do my best, so I can't back out now. I calm myself and shake off my weak spirits. The bus has crossed the bridge and it's going into the developing area where the buildings are. I breathe out and prepare myself. The announcer I'm so used to hearing announces the next stop, Shinto Station. It's still 9 in the morning, but the area in front of the station is crowded. Most shops open at 10, but cafes and bookstores are already open. There are already many more people than there were at Miyama City, and this place is as crowded as it is on weekends. Saber is not pleased by this, Shiro. Getting off the bus, Saber looks around unhappily. It's only natural. Saber was against this date, and people passing by are looking at her curiously. She must not feel too good about that. Damn foreigners. I love how foreigners and usually foreigners in anime are, you can always tell they're foreign because people always say they're foreign because they have blonde hair or something like that. It's like, obviously you don't have multicolored hair like us, so you're foreign. Come to think of it, this was bound to happen if I brought Saber here in the morning. But that's going to follow us around for the whole day. If there's a way to calm it down, it's to make Saber have so much fun that she forgets about the people staring at her. Alright, I'm just gonna slap myself a little bit. I pound my fist and turn to Saber. Oh, I thought he slapped himself.
Saber, 初めに聞いておくけど、どこか行ってみたいところはあるか? せっかく来たんだから。
Saber, I'll ask you first. Is there any place you want to go? We've come all the way here, so we should at least do whatever we want today.
さあ、別にこれといって興味のある場所はありませんから。そもそも
I do not know. I have no place that interests me. Before even that, I have no knowledge on which to base such a decision.
本当か? そりゃ参ったな。じゃあ本当にここからは出たとこ
Really?
勝負の
That's
わけ
too
か。
bad. I guess it really is up to luck. The future looks bad if you don't have anywhere you want to go, and I don't have any idea where to go.
まさかとは思うのですが、何の計
I
画
don't
も
want to
立
ask
てて
this,
いない
but
の
do you
です
not
か
have a plan,
シロ
Shiro?
いや、少しはあるけど、中身はガラガラ。
Well, I have a few, but no details. Let's just go to random stores. Well, that's still difficult. I know places where I won't get bored, but I can't even imagine where a girl would be happy to go to. Geez, if it's going to end up like this, I wish I'd gone out with a girl just once.
まったく反論するわけではありませんが、シロはどうかしています。休憩を取ろうという考えはまだいい。
Honestly, please do not take offense, but there is something wrong with you. Your plan to take a rest is fine, but how can you not even have a plan for that rest? Oh, Saber enters her scolding mode. This is the first time she started to complain about something outside of the dojo. I knew she was irritated not being up for this and being looked at by curious eyes, but I didn't think she was this irritated.
一言したかったのです。周りのことは目に入っているくせに、どうも自身に対する扱いが存在です。
I have always wanted to object to your lack of planning. You are closely aware of everyone around you, but you treat yourself too carelessly. As a result, you yourself have to pay the price for this discrepancy.
と聞いているのですか、
Are
シ
you
ロ。
listening to me, Shiro?
聞いてるよ。要するに、今
Yeah,
こう
it's
し
like
てい
we're
る
an
の
old
が
married
納得い
couple
かないん
now.
だろ、セイバー。
I am, so basically you're not happy about being here right now, right?
当然だろ。
Well, it's natural you wouldn't like it since it's pretty obvious it's going to be boring going anywhere with me.
そういう
I
こと
didn't mean
で
it
はな
like
く、
that.
私は今はこのようなことをしている場合ではないと。
It is not that, but I'm saying now it is not the time to be doing such things.
それも分かってる。けど、
I know that too, but I won't listen since I already have. I won't change my mind no matter what. I look at Saber. Saber just looks back at me in shock.
ただ文句もあるだろうし
But I'll
そういう
listen
のは
if you
今
have
のうち
something
に
to
言っておいてくれその方がお互い気兼ねしなくて済む
I'm sure you have complaints, so tell me them right now. I won't have to worry about making you unhappy if you do so.
セイバーが俺とデートするのが嫌だって言うんなら
If you say you don't want to go on a date, I'll think of something else. Like checkers.
いえ何もそこまでする必要はないと言いますか
No, I do not think you need to go that
その
far. Saber reverts her gaze and runs out of words.
なら文句
You
は
have
な
no
いんだな
complaints? Then let's go.
じゃあ行くぞセイバーにリクエストがないんだから
You have no requests, so don't get mad at me wherever we go. I'm considering an ordinary place like an aquarium. I decide and grab Saber's hand.
シロもありませんが
Hey, Shiro,
何も
I
手
have
を
no
掴む
complaints,
必要
but
は
there's
ない
no
の
need
で
to
はあり
hold
ま
my
せん
hand.
か
いや時間ももったいないし少し走るからな
Huh? I don't want to waste time, so we'll be running for a while. I'll show you the way, so follow me. Let's go to Junes! Every day is great at
こんな
your
状態では
Junes.
その
No, I cannot do so in a situation like this. I start to run without waiting for Saber's reply. Since I've talked big to Saber, I can't act miserable now. I just have to take her to every possible place I can think of. I run, holding Saber's hand. She must have accepted it as Saber finally stops complaining and follows me quietly. Well, it's before 10 o'clock. I'll make the 2 hours before lunchtime worthwhile and surprise her. To summarize, the 2 hours went by like a storm. We went to a boutique I usually don't go to, and we played bowling while I taught her the rules. I couldn't find an aquarium, but we fed some birds in a park. That's not how it happened, Shiro. In the anime, you went to an aquarium. We also went to an antique store, so I think it was best not to go to the movie theater. No, bullshit. You went to the movie theater in the anime and you saw fucking Star Wars. Anyways, I kept taking her to places a girl might like for the past 2 hours, and there were many results. Honorable defeats and total defeats. I don't like this antique store, it's boring. But I don't think this is what people would call a date. This is more like a contest, a fight to the death where the first one to give up loses. Saber is the same as usual no matter where I take her, and she sometimes goes so quiet that I seriously start wondering if she's really mad. She gives no reaction, so I became desperate to make her happy at the next place I take her to. As a result, I became obstinate about making Saber smile and ran around different places all morning, but it's already noon without much success. So, as Saber reminded me it's time for lunch, I decided to take a short break, but... Oh. What is this place? I complain once we're seated at a table. It's brunch, Shiro! I recommend a restaurant by the river if you're going to have lunch. That was the only advice Tosuke gave me last night. I trusted her and chose this place, but I never thought it would be so fastidious. I'll look at the menu. Fortunately, the menu has a version in Japanese as well, so I have no problems reading it. But the trouble is, I can't understand what kind of food it is from the name, and the prices are outrageous. Welcome to fine dining, Shiro. Am I in bars? I seriously don't know what I should order. The most expensive thing, obviously. I groan, looking at the menu. Ugh.
Shiro,
did we not come here to eat lunch? I hear a rather frail voice from the other side of the table. Yeah, but it's too different from what I'm used to. I raise my head, and then... there's Saber, with an expression like a concerned rabbit. Saber. If you cannot relax, let us return to the mansion. I prefer the food you prepare, Shiro. You mean, you want to go home?
いえ、屋敷に帰りたいわけではなくですね。 今日はひどく緊張したの
No,
で
I do not want to
普
go
段
back
より
home,
疲れ
but
てしまったのです
today has been really exhausting, so I'm more tired than usual.
本当か。そうか。ここで飯にして一息ついたら
Really?
また
I
街を
see.
出
I
歩こ
thought
うと
about
思ったん
going
だ
out
が
into town again after eating, but if you're tired, we can rest here for a while.
まさかそのようなことはありません疲れたというのは語弊がありましたその
No, that is
正
not
しく
what
は
I
で
meant.
すね
Tired was not the word I meant. It should have been... Saber stops. The small gurgling sound was fortunately small enough that only I could hear. Oh, if she was hungry, she could have just told me. She's going to eat all the
申し訳あり
food.
ませんつまり昼食は
Give her
早
some
めにして
food, she'll
もらえる
want more.
と助かるということ
Never
です
take her to a buffet. Excuse me, so, in other words, I'm saying it would be helpful for us to have lunch quickly.
了解。そうだな。面白みがないけど無難なところ
Roger.
頼んでみて。
Yeah, it's no fun, but let's
早速
order
飯に着こう
something
か
safe and get our food quickly. It's simple if all we want are light snacks. I order 2 things from the lunch menu and decide to eat quickly. Ah, Shiro, you didn't blow your money on her. That's what you're supposed to do on a date. I consider what to do in the afternoon while drinking the after-meal coffee. After-meal coffee, you fancy motherfucker. What I learned this morning is that anything physical is not good. Saber gets serious when it comes to contests. That's good for me, but it makes Saber stand out even more. After we finished a game, Saber got angry because she caught all the attention she wanted to avoid.
そんなわけで体を動かすのは避ける。
So we should avoid going anywhere that involves moving around.
なあ、セイバー。2度目になるけど、どこか行きた
Hey,
いところ
Saber,
ってあ
I'm
るか
asking for the second time, but is there anywhere you want to go?
私にですかいえ
Me.
特にはありません
No, there is not. I cannot
私では
tell, so I will leave it up to you. Saying so, Saber lifts her teacup. Saber ordered English tea, and it seems she really likes the taste. Well, of course she does. We don't have much English tea at my place, and even if we did, it's all instant tea bags. It seems Saber was a bit dissatisfied with the drinks at my house, as she seems to like English tea. I should put that into consideration starting tonight. Well, she is King fucking Arthur, so I think she would like English tea. Saber is sitting there and drinking tea. She doesn't seem happy or bored. If I had to use one word to describe her, it'd be that she looks natural. She drinks her tea, sitting up straight in the shadows of the streaming sunlight. Even though this is the first time I've seen such a thing, it doesn't seem strange. It feels like I've seen such a scene before. Why do I feel that? The Saber I know is a tense girl who's always holding a sword and fighting.
ああ、そうか。
Oh, I see. But it's only natural. I also know her attitude after she lets go of her sword. When she stops fighting, Saber has always been calm and gentle. This scene looks natural rather than new because it is her true nature. No matter how superior she is as a swordsman, it's natural for Saber to be like this. Rather, it's abnormal for her to hold a sword at all. I once thought in my dream that she wasn't suited for fighting. I don't think I'm wrong. No matter how superior her technique or no matter how many battles she's experienced, as long as she is who she is, it can't have been a comfortable place to be. So this is natural. Saber is resting, not holding a sword. The calm scene is the way she should be. I'm pretty sure that music playing in the background was from the soundtrack. We do the same thing in the afternoon. I go to every place I can think of, and Saber follows me silently. But it's not as painful as it was in the morning. I don't know if it's because I'm getting used to it or whether Saber is complying. Saber still isn't talkative, but if I look closely, her expression isn't like it is when she's mad. There's a feeling of accomplishment and happiness when I see Saber leave his shop with light steps. So, considering many factors that might make Saber happy from many angles, I'm a bit dubious, but I've determined that this shop will be the best suited for Saber. Is that a real picture of a shop? I can't really tell if that's a drawing or if that's real. Like, it looks really... If it is a drawing, it looks really detailed, for one. I think that's just art in the background. I thought that was actual, like, picture of a shop for a minute. What? It could be based on a real shop, though. Saber stands there, dumbfounded. I don't know if her shoulders are shaking because she's angry or because she's deeply moved.
Shiro,
Shiro, this is... What is this wondrous place? The biggest stuffed animal shop in town. I've never been here before since men aren't allowed in. Wow, that's kind of sexist. Of course, there's actually not a rule like that. But since there are only women and no men, it's like an unwritten rule. Well, I guess you could say that. To prove it, there are only girls in here. The golden-haired Saber is being stared at, but being a guy, I'm being glared at. I'm sure they want to tell me not to come into their sanctuary. I feel the same way. I would not approve of men entering this place. Well, let's think about this, Shiro. What if you were in a lingerie store or something like that? That'd probably be even worse. Well, let's ignore everyone and look around since we're here. Saber, is there an animal you like? I feel that lions and panthers are lovely, but is that strange? She asks me with upturned eyes. I look away instantly and contain my laughter. The funny thing is, Saber is strange for thinking she's strange for thinking lions are cute. Shiro, that gesture was unnatural. I feel unreasonable anger, but perhaps it was just my imagination. Oh, sorry. Liking lions is so like you, so I had to laugh. How dare you laugh at other people's preferences? There's nothing wrong with lions. Except if you go near one, they'll tear you apart. I'm telling you I'm sorry. I'll take you somewhere good as an apology, so don't get mad. I go into the store while trying to hold my laughter. Well, it looks like the stuffed animals are that way. So, it's taken about an hour to go around the store. I looked at Saber staring at stuffed animals and felt really nervous with all the girls there. Anyways, it was the most tiring hour so far. But the worst part is, we've only looked through half of the store. It took us this long to look at just half of it because Saber was frequently paralyzed. I mean, Saber kept staring down stuffed animals. It looks like Saber's interested in the other half too, so I'll have to accompany her. And that'll take another hour. Shiro, why are you sighing? Are you tired from walking? Yeah, I'm a bit tired. I'm usually not so weak, but this place is special, so I guess I shouldn't be doing things I'm not accustomed to. I let out a big sigh. I don't mind being looked at by other people while walking with Saber, but a girl's only place like this is really uncomfortable. Boredom sometimes tires one's body. How about you? This must be your first time in a place like this. Tell me if you're tired. I certainly do not feel calm, but you look more uncomfortable. Not just here, but you seemed this way in the previous store, and the store before that. I do not want to think this, but are you choosing places you do not wish to go to? For me, Saber's words are enough to cast away my worries. Yeah, to be honest, I'm choosing places I don't like. As I thought, why do you continue to choose places you are unfamiliar with? Well, because these kinds of places are suitable for girls. I'm the one that started this whole thing, and today's your day as well. And it's not that uncomfortable either. It's fun since you're with me. I have such a cute girl with me, so people might get jealous. I'm not out, but I'll never be out of place. All the faces she makes when she's embarrassed are just hilarious. How ridiculous. I'm a servant even though I'm not armed. You do not need to treat me as a woman just because we're not fighting. Please treat me as a servant as usual. You're the ridiculous one. You're a girl to begin with. It's not like I'm treating you differently today. Am I acting any differently? Oh. In astonishment, Saber opens her mouth as if she's just realized that.
いえ、同じです。
No, you are the same.
あなたはいつも通りのシロで
You
し
were
た。
acting the same as always, Shiro.
だろだから俺に気を使
Yeah,
う
so
必要
you
は
don't
ない
need to worry about me.
ほらそれじゃ行こう。一番気に入ったものを買うんだからあと半分も見ない
So
と
let's
ダメだ
go.
ろ
We're going to buy the one you like the most, so we have to go look at the remaining half. I take Saber's hand. Saber silently follows me.
そうでした。初めからそうだったのに。
That is right. It has been like this from the start, but I did not realize it until this moment. She murmurs to herself. The unusual day goes by quickly. Saber never laughed, nor could I laugh from my heart. And it's not like there was any memorable moments, nor was it so boring that I regret doing it. To be frank, this was nothing. Saber might have been happier if we'd stayed at the mansion and trained together. But today wasn't bad. It wasn't fun or boring, but I can be proud of it in the end. After the battle is over and everything goes back to normal. It would be too sad if all the time Saber and I had was spent fighting. Even if it's something stupid, she has to spend some time not fighting, or there's no point to her being here. So I can be proud of myself for now. The end is near. When everything comes to an end, and when there's no more need to fight. If Saber will remember this moment and remember that this happened, that alone is enough for me to be proud of. We go home on foot, because Saber said, "Let us walk home." Just as I decided to go home by bus. There's some wind now. The vivid sun is lighting the bridge red. Oh. Saber notices something and stops. She's watching a mountain of rubble. It's not that tall, even though it's a mountain of rubble. Steel frames and the like are piled right up onto the water's surface and are slightly distorting the flow of the river. I don't know why, but it seems like a ship sank or something, and pieces of it flowed into a mountain. I heard the local residents have been demanding its removal for a long time since it damages the beautiful sight.
なんだよセイバー。あれが気になったのか。
What's wrong, Saber? Did that catch your attention?
いえ、まだ残っていたのかと。あれの原因は私ですから。前回の戦いで水上戦を余儀なくされ。
No, I was just noticing that it still remains because I was the cause of it. I used the noble phantasm here, having fought on water in the previous war.
被害は川を干上がらせただけでしたが、運悪く停泊して
The
いた
only
船を
damage was that
巻き
the
込んでしま
river
った
dried
んで
up,
す。
but I also destroyed the ship that was unfortunately anchored there.
はあ？巻き込んだって。
Huh? You mean Excalibur?
そ
What else could
そう
she
なんで
mean,
すが、
Shiro?
幸い乗客はいませんでしたし、被害も大きくなかったんです。
Yes, but unfortunately, nobody was on board and the damage was
そう起
minimal.
こらなくともいい
The
ではあ
river
り
is
ま
back
せ
to
んか。
normal, so you should not get so mad.
私だってその反
I
省しているのです
regret
か
it as
ら。
well. I should watch out. I have to take care to only use Excalibur in an open place like this.
シロ、まだ怒っていますか？
Shiro, are you still mad?
いや別に怒ってない。ただびっくりしただけだ。
No, I'm not bad. I was just surprised, and I was just thinking how many traces there are from the last war.
中央公園のあれのに比べたら川の瓦礫なんて問題じゃないだろう。まあ船の持ち主は災難だったとは思うが。
The rubble in the river shouldn't be a problem compared to the wasteland in that park. Well, I guess it was unfortunate for the owner of that ship.
それはご安心を。船の持ち主には保険が下りたとキリツグが言っていましたし、もともと干渉剤にするつもりで船を止めさせたので。
Please do not worry, as Kiritsugu said the owner had insurance. He parked the ship there as a buffer, so he used the ship as a wall to reduce the power of the noble phantasm.
なんだ。じゃあ初めから承知で船を壊したってこと
Oh,
か。
so you destroyed the ship knowing it was there.
承知していたわけではありません。あれはキリツグが私に黙って用意していたもの
I
で
did
す。
not know. Kiritsugu prepared it without telling me.
そうですね。キリツグには戦いの流れが読めていたのでしょう。船を用意する前もその後も一言も口にしなかったので気がつきませんでした。
I think Kiritsugu knew how the battle would turn out. I did not notice since he had never said anything before or after he prepared the ship. Saber looks down at the river yearningly. The water's surface reflects the sunset. The wind coming from the river is a bit strong and flutters Saber's hair. Is it because she looks so beautiful like that?
セイバー、今日は
Saber, did you have fun today? I was assaulted by a sudden fear that Saber might just disappear and ask something I didn't need to ask.
はい。何か言いましたか、シロ。
Huh? Did you say something, Shiro?
言った。今日は楽しかったか？
Yeah, I asked if you had fun today. She gasps. Saber opens her eyes in amazement.
そうですね。新鮮でないと言えば嘘になります。
Yes, I would be lying if I said this was not new to me. She says so in a voice of hope, as if such a thing would never happen again. I knew what her answer would be. All I can do now is nod and just go home. Everything can return to the way it was, just like that.
そうか。
I see. I nod, looking at Saber.
ならまた行こう。こんなの別に
Then
今回
let's
限り
go
って
again.
わけじゃないん
It's
だ。
not like this has to be the last time. And I say something I won't be able to take back. Saber freezes. She must have realized what I want to say. She shakes her head, looking directly at me, as if saying there won't be a next time. As if this mistake is only for today.
それはなぜ？
Why? I know Saber's answer, but I ask, not liking the answer I expect.
なぜも何もない。サーバントは戦うために存在するものです。
I do not even need to explain. Servants exist to fight. A day like today is merely denying my own existence.
シロが休憩すべきだと判断したから従いましたが、もうこの先は
I obeyed you since you decided to take a rest, but I believe resting should not be necessary from now on.
残る敵は少ない。シロが命じるなら、今すぐにでもランサーを探し出したい
There are
ほど
only
で
a
す。
few enemies left. I would like to start searching for Lancer right now, if you would order me to. She looks at me with eyes full of fire. Saber is saying she will start fighting right now if I order it. That causes me to get mad about all the things I can't approve of.
なんだよそれ。そんなに戦いたいのか。
What's
お前
with
は
that? You really want to fight that much?
当然でしょう。戦えば戦うほど聖杯
Of
に近
course.
づくの
I
です。
draw closer to the Holy Grail the more I fight.
私にとって戦闘は何よりも優先すべきこと
Battle
で
should
す
be。prioritized over
それ
everything.
は素人と
You
分
should
か
know
って
that
いる
as
は
well.
ずですが。
ああ、分かってる。だか
Yeah,
らおかしい
I
な。
understand. That's why it's strange.
前から言いたかったんだけどな。矛盾してるぞ。
I've always wanted to say this, but you're contradicting yourself.
セイバーは戦いが大事だっていう割に自分から戦いたいなんて思ってないのか。
You say fighting is important, but you don't like fighting. You're fighting against your will because there's no other way, right?
そんなことはありません。私は戦闘をた
What?
めらわない。
That is not true. I do not hesitate to fight.
勝利するためならば手段は選ばないと言った
I've
でしょ。
already told you I'll do anything to win. Yeah, she did say that. But that's not a reason to like fighting.
できる範囲でだろ。
As far as you can manage, right? Look, Saber.
単純に他のマスターを倒して聖杯を手に入れるっていうんならさ、ライダーみたいに人を襲って力を得ればいい。
If you just wanted to defeat other masters and obtain the Holy Grail, you could just attack people and take their power. But you don't want to do that, right?
それは
That
無
is...
関係な人間を巻き込みたくないんじゃない。いざ戦いになれば、人は死ぬものだ
It's
と。
not that you don't want to
お
involve
前はよ
innocent
くわかって
people.
いる。
You know well enough that people will be dying once you start fighting.
そう。だからこそお前は戦闘を最小限に抑えたがっていた。戦えば死者は出る。
That's why you want to minimize the battles. People will die if you fight, so you will want to end the battle as quickly as possible.
お前は
In other
犠牲
words,
者が出る戦い
you're
ってやつ
frightened
が
of fights with
たまらな
victims.
く怖いんだ。
After opening her eyes as if she's seen a ghost, she grits her teeth and straightens her stare.
違います。私は戦いを
You
怖
are
がってな
wrong.
どいません
I。do not fear battles.
そうだな。確かにお前は初めから怖がってなんていなかったと思う。そんな個人の恐怖なんて王の使命とやらで塗りつぶされていたんだろうから。
Yeah, I don't think you were ever scared, because an individual's fear must have been suppressed by what you call the king's mission.
だけどそれでもお前は戦いを嫌ってる。
But you still fear
お
battles.
前は単に強くて戦いが上手かっただけだ。
You are strong and good at fighting, but that's not a talent you ever wanted, right?
はっきり言うぞ。お前は戦いになんて向いていない。本当は剣
I'll
を
say
取る
this
ことさえ
honestly.
嫌だったは
Fighting
ずだ。
doesn't suit you. You must have hated even pulling out that sword.
戦うことだけが目的だっていうのは
Your claim that fighting is your only objective is just an excuse to try to deceive yourself. It's so simple. Why didn't you or anybody around you notice it?
シロ、いくらあなたでもそれ以上の侮辱は
I
許
will
しま
not
せん。
tolerate any more insults from you.
図星だから我慢できないんだろ。認めたら戦えなくなるからな。
You can't stand it because it's the truth, right? You won't be able to fight anymore if you admit it. She grits her teeth. Saber glares at me in anger. I can't back away. If I believe I'm right, I can't run away.
だからやめろよ。お前だってやめたがってるんだろ。
So you should stop. You want to stop too, right? You must know fighting doesn't suit you. So just quit it. Stop being a servant and do something that suits you. She needs to regain that happiness she should have had as a human. For that, How ridiculous. I have no choices besides fighting. I only exist to obtain the Holy Grail.
王の誓いを守るためにこの身を差し出した。それ以外の自分の使い道など
I submitted my body to fulfill the promise as king. I cannot allow any other use for myself. You... I only exist to obtain the Holy Grail. That annoys me the most. Why does she say ridiculous things like that as if to convince herself? Everyone around her took her word because she kept saying things like that. You idiot, that's not true. There are infinite ways. You're here and different from before. So you have to live for yourself. Don't make any mistakes, and don't use the Holy Grail. The final wish she's permitted. Don't use it for people you don't care about. If you're here, you need to be happy here. I hear the wind. Saber doesn't answer. She doesn't even nod. She just looks back at me. I cannot accept your words. Made a contract to obey you, but I did not give you my heart, Master. She replies with a strong voice. I cannot forsake my oath as a king. There is a duty I must fulfill as a king. King Arthur's goal is to obtain the Holy Grail. Even if I achieve that goal, I will not return to being Arturia. I have only ever had one wish. That wish has never changed since I pulled out the sword. Why? That's not a thing you have to do. It's wrong for you to be unrewarded for your actions. You don't need the Holy Grail, and Saber's wish won't come true. It's impossible to erase everything that's happened. Saber, you can't redo what's already done. No. I think it's something you must do. You should know that. No, that is not true. I'll tell you. However bad the result is, you can't change what's happened. Wanting to redo something because you couldn't do it is just childish selfishness. Our words end there. Saber doesn't say anything, and I don't have anything to say. The wind has stopped as well. No. The wind hasn't stopped. It's only died down for a second. Another sound of wind. Just as I feel the wind on my cheek. I thought you would understand, Shiro. The wind has changed into a headwind. Is that all you wanted to say after wasting this meaningless day? A cold voice. It contains only rejection. Do not be so conceited. What makes you think you will understand me? You have no right to invade me. Do not fight? What are you saying when you need me to protect you? Please, give me that nonsense after you were able to fight on your own.
まあそんなことは永遠にありえない
I
でし
do
ょ
not think that will ever occur.
違う。
No, it's not nonsense.
ですから世まい事でしょう。自分のことを考えろです。
It is nonsense. Think about myself. That goes for you as well.
あなたは自分の命が感情に入っていない。
You do not consider your life.
あなたは私が間違っていると言いますが、あなたの方こそ
You are saying I'm mistaken, but you are even more mistaken.
自身より他人を優先するなど死者の考えだ。
Only corpses consider others more important than themselves.
自身の命の重みも知らない大バカ者がよくも
How
そん
can
な
a
ことを言え
fool
た
who
も
does
の
not
です。
even know the value of his own life address me so?
セイバー。お前
Saber, you...
勘に触りましたか。ならいっそのこと契約を解除しても構いません。
Did I annoy you? Then I will not mind if you dissolve your contract with me. You do not need the Holy Grail anyway.
あとは私一人でマスターを破り、
I will defeat the remaining masters by myself and obtain the Holy Grail myself.
そんなに戦うのが嫌ならば、あなた
If
は
you do
遠
not
くに
wish
隠
to
れてい
fight,
ればい
you
いで
can
しょう。
go and hide somewhere far away.
セイバー。お
Saber,
前。
are you serious? I asked with a trembling voice. My teeth are chattering because I'm suppressing my emotion.
当然です。私の目的は聖杯だけ。
Of course, my only goal is
そ
the
れ以
Holy
外の
Grail.
ことなど余計だ。
Everything else is unnecessary.
むしろそ
You
れ
are
はあな
no
たの例外
exception,
ではありません。
I stopped breathing. I bare my head, going white, and managed to restart my stopped heart.
このわからずや。
You blockhead!
そんなに戦いたいってんなら勝手にしろ。
Fine, if you want to fight, go ahead and do what you want. I don't care anymore. But I can't stop my emotions. I yell what sounds like an excuse and run away from Saber. I get away from her, but for a moment. I think I see Saber standing there absent-mindedly, with soulless eyes. Damn it! Damn it! Damn it! I run. I keep running, not knowing what's so vexing or maddening.
それ以外のことなど余計だ。
Everything else is unnecessary. You are no exception, Shiro. I grit my teeth hard and stop myself from yelling out. Just remembering it makes me white out, and I might run into a pole or something. No, it would be easy if I could do that. If I was just angry at Saber, I could just take it out on something. But that's not the cause of this fury. It's not just Saber that I'm mad at. It's so vexing, and I keep running so hard because I hate how weak I am. Saber was standing there absent-mindedly. The words she said, just as the wind changed directions.
シローなら分かってくれると思っていた。
I thought you would understand, Shiro.
くそ。そんなのわかるか。
Damn it, you idiot! I don't understand. I spit that out, then regret it so much that I almost fall. What was it about? Her voice, like a farewell, sounded like she was crying. Come to think of it, maybe those words were the only honest thing she said. Those words murmured with her head hung. A voice of hope, disappointment, and wishes. Then, who was that? Who was the betrayer, and who was betrayed? I run into my room and shut the door. I collapse. I don't want to stand up. I just want to lie down and go to sleep. But my body is still burning. My heart feels like it's splitting open, and my lungs are desperate for air. I ran full speed from the bridge to here. My body must be exhausted. I haven't run enough emotionally, but my body is telling me to calm down. I slowly calm down. I take a deep breath and let it out. And after I settle my breathing, all that fills my head is the question of why I was so enraged. I don't even have to think about it. I ran as if throwing something off me because I was so powerless. I can't save Saber. That fact is so vexing that I was angry at myself. I can't do anything. I promised to make her laugh. I promised to protect her, but I can't do anything. That makes me furious.
どうしろってんだ。セイバー自身が自分の
But
幸せを
what
求
can I
めてい
do?
ない限り
It's useless for anyone to say anything if Saber herself doesn't want happiness. That's why I tried hard, so she'd be able to find her own happiness. But she told me that that was meaningless, and on top of that, she called me a fool.
自身の命の重みも知らない。
A fool who doesn't even know the value of his own life, huh? Yeah, that would pretty much accurately describe you, Shiro. What can I do when she says that? I value my life as well, but I don't want to do anything that might endanger it. So yeah, that even though you don't want to do anything that might endanger it, you run in front of Berserker's fucking rock sword, okay? But it has nothing to do with Saber. I think it's unfair of her to bring it up right there. No matter how stupid I am, I'm sure Saber's wrong. But if she denies me like that, I can't do anything. Damn it. Man, she can do whatever she likes. I turn over and lie on my stomach. The floor is the only view, so I close my eyes to block out my mind. That's it. I don't care about Saber anymore. If the Holy Grail is so important to her, she can go marry it. She's so obstinate that she doesn't understand after I've told her this much. I'll be burned if I associate with her anymore. No, I'll be seriously hurt. I've already been hurt, though. Not just burned. I met her, fought with her many times, and even had sex with her, even though it was just to survive. The heat of that night wasn't a burn, but it almost killed my brain. Why? Why do I recall such a thing when I'm so pissed off? If I recall that, it won't matter what Saber says. Something only used to fight? Then don't show your weak parts. Anyways, Saber is unfair. I don't know what's so unfair, but I think it's unfair that I don't know what's unfair. What? I can't... Oh, Jesus Christ. I can't hate her even though I'm this mad. And the more I try to ignore her, the more I can't. It's such a contradiction. You forgot even the reason why you forgot. Her whole existence is unfair. It's unfair because it's unfair. But that's also unfair because it's also unfair that that's unfair. I can't hate her no matter what. Damn it. I guess the one who's in love loses. But I can't help it. If I can't give up no matter how useless she tells me it is, I have to keep trying until the end. No matter how much Saber hates it or rejects me, if I believe I'm right. I thought you would understand, Shiro. I remember her face, about to cry. In the future, will she make that kind of a face every time I repeat this? But still, I can't agree no matter what. Even if I'm wrong and Saber's right. If she's really important to me, I can never apologize to her. I thought I heard a sound. When did the sun set? The room is dark. The sound of the second hand on the clock is annoying. Hey, how long are you going to sleep? I need you to wake up. Wake up already. It's past 10 o'clock. Illy is bugging me to get dinner ready, so wake up and keep her company. An angry voice. That wakes me up completely. Past 10? I get up quickly. Yep, 10:17 to be exact. It's way past dinner time. Tosuke looks flabbergasted. Sorry, I fell asleep. I'll go right away. So wait for me in the living room. That's fine, but where's Saber? Uh-oh. Well, if she's not here, she must be in the dojo or the living room. Shiro, I'm asking you because she's not here. Tosuke is serious. That tells me what the situation is in an instant. She's not back? Hold on, Shiro, what do you mean by that? Tosuke runs out of the room after me. But I don't have the time to explain. I run outside, ignoring Tosuke's words behind me. The town is quiet. A world like yesterday where all signs of people have vanished. I don't have enough composure to think it's strange now. Saber isn't back. Come to think of it, that's only natural. We argued so much. She said that she would fight by herself. So, considering her personality, she really would go and fight by herself. Saber could be anywhere. It's possible that I won't find her, and that she's fighting Lancer right now. But still, I came here first. The air by the river is cold. The park is so cold that it feels like frost is packed here. My breath is white, and my cheeks and ears hurt. It's cold here, so how cold must it be on the bridge where the wind from the river rises? That is where she's standing. Right where I fled from her. Saber is looking out at the river, not doing anything. Is she looking at the long-gone sunset? Her gaze into the distance seems to be watching a red horizon that has already disappeared. That makes me realize. She's strong, yet so weak. Her gallant figure must be proof that she could live without anybody's help. But she's also so weak that my hand might go through her if I reach out. She can't do it alone, but she defends her pride until the end. That's why. It was the same for me, watching stars that cannot be reached. She stares at the distant set sun, as if she knows nothing else. I can't leave her alone. If I lost, it was a complete loss for me. It made me swear to myself that I would never let her make such a face. I walk on the bridge. I'm making sounds, but Saber doesn't notice. I walk towards her in silence and stand next to her. Saber, you'll freeze if you stay out here. She jumps. She must finally have noticed me. Shiro? Saber turns around as if to question me. What are you doing out so late? Tosako was worried since you didn't come home. I see. I should apologize to her. It's fine, but why were you here? Well, it doesn't matter since it was easy for me to find you. I was still here because I did not know where to go. You told me to do as I wished, so I tried to do so. But I could not think what I should do or where I want to go, so I was thinking all this time about where I should be going. She speaks like a lost child. She must feel guilty, as Saber keeps averting her gaze. We did have that big fight. It's only natural for her to think I'm still mad. I'm sorry. Please tell Rin that she's helped me very much. I shall return to you once I defeat Lancer and obtain the Holy Grail. So, until then. Is she saying she'll wander around without a place to return to? What are you talking about? You're coming back to my house, right? I prepared your bed and your food. But you said you do not understand me. That's right. I don't know what you're thinking. So saying, I take Saber's hand. Shiro. Let's go home. Even a servant will catch cold if they stay out here this long. Let's hurry back and eat something warm. But I... And I won't apologize to you. If you have any complaints, tell me now. I say so rudely, looking away from Saber. She looks at me, astonished. She looks like she wants to apologize, but I ignore her. That must have worked on her. Saber doesn't say anything and follows while holding my hand.